What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also to ask me to put it up. So I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Dysfunction Sympathizers. When people have dysfunctional behavior, which we all do, you will have a support system. People who sympathize with your dysfunction. Why do I say that? Because they exist everywhere you go. What winds up happening is, you go into somebody's backstory. They're dysfunctional, but you're going to say they're dysfunctional because of what happened to them as a child. Some of the time, that makes sense and you can see it. But some of the time, it's just a reach. You're just trying to stretch it because you don't want those people to get the consequences that are coming their way. Because dysfunction has its sympathizers. Now, you also have people who are part of that support system who are sympathizers because they created the dysfunction. So of course they're going to sympathize with it because the dysfunction wouldn't exist without them. Sometimes some people put people in situations that cost them, or put people in situations that they may have to pay for the rest of their lives. So the dysfunction that comes out of that situation, they feel guilty, because this person wouldn't be as dysfunctional if it wasn't for you tampering with their life for whatever, or being a pawn in your little chess game or whatever you were doing, right? So now you have to sympathize because you're forced to, out of obligation and guilt, and because you don't want that person to turn on you because you got away scot-free. Dysfunction sympathizers. You have people who are dysfunctional out of their, sometimes you might grow up a certain way and you want to be the opposite of what you've seen. And you being the polar opposite creates a dysfunction. So there's a problem. What do I mean by this? Say if you had parents who abused alcohol or substances, right? And then you grew up and you were very strict and you wouldn't do that. So now you might wind up being overly strict on your kids, and they may rebel, or you may create another monster that is the complete opposite of the one that you were trying to not create. So now this sympathy comes in. Well, at least you're not like that. Like what I had to deal with. You're just like this, and that's fixable. But sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It is what it is. People sympathize because some things are supposed to be natural, but people go overboard. What do I mean? And what I'm talking about was, say sex. It's natural to have sex, but some people go overboard. And because we all have sex, it's like everything goes because I have sex just like you. So you could do whatever you need. You could lie, cheat, steal, set people up, play games, as long as even to get sex, because sex is natural, right? So people sympathize with people being manipulative because to a degree they don't see anything wrong with that, as long as you get what you want at the end of the day. And that's a problem, because it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, because when somebody does it to you, then all of a sudden you want to bring out the morality police. Not really a good look, but it is what it is. But that's dysfunction sympathizers. Violence. Some people are overly violent. And you want to say, okay, well, this is who they are. But if somebody's overly violent and you sympathize with them being violent, to a degree, it looks kind of hypocritical if you crying at their funeral because they died by the sword. If they lived by the sword, you should have known that was that goes with the deal. They went too early. No, they didn't. I mean, violence begets violence. So it is what it is, but to a degree, some people sympathize with people like that because in some ways that's your personal pit bull. That's who you can call on to get them to do the dirty work that you're not willing to do for your doggone self. So of course you sympathize with them and their dysfunction because it benefits you, keeps your hands clean and to get somebody else bloody. But that's what it is. The same thing goes into getting criminal minded or getting ends in an ill-gotten manner, right? You have sympathizers for that dysfunction because they benefit. If you're eating off of the underworld, you're not necessarily in a position to say anything against it because it's your bread and butter. You don't have the integrity to walk away. So what do? You sympathize with it. People got to do whatever they got to do to get their money. Okay. But like, once again, you got to accept what goes with that life. Like, when it comes down on you or your friends or your family, you got to accept it. Like, some people think they could be, everybody else is on the fast lane, but you get to be on the sidewalk. You can still get hit. A car can veer off the road. You still want to be seen near that fast lane. You're part of, what's the ambiance. Let's just put it like that. So, but you have people who sympathize with that. Like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. If you say it's okay, is it going to end okay? Probably not. People who are rude or don't have manners. People sympathize with that. Oh, because you see a lot of people in society who are just rude for no reason, have bad manners for no reason, don't carry themselves like adults in adult situations for no reason. It's just, a bunch of childish tantrums. But you got people sympathize. That's who they are. That's what they are. Okay. Remember that, though. I need you to remember that. Because, you sympathize for them being who they are. And when they're like that with you, then all of a sudden it's too much. But at the same time, like I said before, you might bring rude people around to be rude to people that you don't have the guts to be rude to. So you bring people, you use people to embarrass other people and act like it's not you, That's what I mean by dysfunction sympathizers, because these sympathizers are normally users, manipulators, people who need a scapegoat, who don't want to get their own hands dirty. So they sympathize because they need, you got friends in high places and low places, and the dysfunctional people are the friends in low places. So of course you gotta cover for them because you might need them one day. You might need their dysfunction to maybe crack a few heads or intimidate somebody or to make somebody look a certain way or to try to bring out the worst in another person or, just whatever little twisted game somebody's playing for the most part. Because at the end of the day, this is what it's about. It's about a twisted little game. If I could get a person to react this way, I won. I don't know what the hell you actually think you win by agitating a person or aggravating a person or these microaggressions. But have at it. I mean, okay, you're going to win an ass whipping and then you're going to say you didn't win that. But whatever. You know, but anyway, I'm gonna be done with this one. I'm gonna be done. Here we go. Like, share, and subscribe. We out. Peace.